Good day, my name is Dele Ayuba and you're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3D Better Academy. This is a program that educates Nigerian international traders to prove fast beyond to the trade challenges in Nigeria. With me in the studio is Kileba. Remember, this program has three very important segments. The trade news segment, where we inform you about the latest in the world of trade. The trade program, where we tell you about the program we have in store for you. And the trade education, where we educate our listeners in various areas of international trade. And today, before we start I would like to talk about the fact that this video is live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Kindly visit our YouTube channel, the 3T Press TV. Subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell so we know when we come on live. Drop your comments, share with your friends, and please like the video. Okay, what do we have in the trade news today?
Trade news under business maritime news. Border closure enforcement as smugglers invade maritime domain. And also from business maritime news, we have Federal Executive Council approved import duty exemption certificate, vehicle number automation, and also from business and maritime news, Nigeria economy, cosmetic manufacturers decry multiple taxation border closure. Then from Post NG, we have Minister of Agriculture says Nigeria to export rice in 2 years. And also from this day, Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement will increase export by $56 billion, GDP at $44, says 44 billion, says UNECA. Then also from Naira importation is killing SMEs, that's from the federal government. And also from this day, federal government plan to end importation of oil and gas equipment and others.
Alright, so let's start with the first one.
And from the first news, controversy trails border closure enforcement as smugglers invade maritime domain. Unintended controversy appears to have enveloped the closure of the nation's land borders following argument in some official circles that the exercise is total border closure comprising land and water. The closure began on August 20th, 2019, according to the federal government, is to curtail both economic and arms smuggling, which will be conducted by joint custom, military, and paramilitary operatives, and coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor (NSA). The exercise, codename Operation X-Suite Response, deployed its operatives, joint border operations, and operations codename Operation X-Suite Response. Initially, whereas the exercise was termed border closure, it was later substituted with the term land border closure and thereafter has been used interchangeably by both government officials and local media.
Okay, continue.
However, last week some operatives of the Custom Marine lamented the concentration of the exercise on land borders, which they claim has put the marine customs and waterways under unbearable pressure.
That is it. These people have not just I've seen rice inside coffee. I'm serious. I don't know if you have seen the video.
Yeah,
I've seen rice inside coffee. Oil inside coffee. You've seen it in padded places in cars. Now, because all those strategies are no more working, these guys, we consider on land border. So they are now, and when they are using, they use illegal routes, but those illegal routes are now being policed. But we are not policing the maritime space. So they are now using illegal ports or waterways. So they will bring it in through the water, but they won't go to Apapa port or Tinkan port. But they will go to other areas in Nigeria where they can offload it. If you find yourself on River Niger, for example, a lot of communities at the bank of River Niger, they can easily find a way to be able to offload. It's so, each time you look at this will tell you that a whole industry is being attacked by this administration, and some people don't want that to happen. And they are doing. Do you know why we need to be hiring flying boat to be carrying this thing? Just when they will hire plenty bike to carry like 4 bags of rice, 5 bags of rice. Do you understand? That's exactly what we have seen on waterway. These guys are becoming more and more daring, and it's good government have been able to notice it so that we can begin to do something very serious about it. The government must fight. When the government says, "Look, we are not opening it yet," they probably have information we don't have. Which is why sometimes people, of course, abuse the government, say all sorts of things against the government because they feel the government have not done right. I'm of the opinion that I think the government did right in this one. I have totally maintained I have issue with the way they went about it. I've also demanded that it be good to compensate exporter But despite that, with all that I'm saying, it's like these guys are so desperate that whatever they need to do, they will do it to get those products to Nigeria, including putting rice and oil inside coffee. It's just unbelievable. But we've seen that in Nigeria. Let's move to the next thing, please.
Federal Executive Council approves import duty exemption certificates, vehicle license automation. The approval for the procurement of an electronic gateway platform for the processing of import duty exemption certificate as well as vehicle identification and registration number under the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and Economic Planning have been granted by the Federal Executive Council. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Ms. Zainab Ahmed, said after the meeting, which was presided over by the Vice President, President Yemi Osinbajo, that an approval was granted to automate the process of the various applications of exemption that were coming to the ministry. She said these categories of import duty payment and other tax incentives covered a number of sectors, including the downstream gas utilization project, the agro-allied processing project, commercial aircraft engine and spare parts, automobile assemblies, iron and steel production, power, including thermal hydros, solar and wind, textile plants, machineries and equipment imported for the use of mining operations. In this process, these exemptions realized that government was actually seeding quite a significant amount of revenue through this process.
So a lot of people, this also is another scam in Nigeria, another channel with which people are able to deprive government because it's likely paper based, so we can easily be forged. So what the government have done now is say, okay, we're going to automate it. It's going to be online. So we can see how much we are giving out, how much you have earned, and then anybody can monitor and know. So if you claim you have paper and you bring paper to custom, instead of them looking at your paper, they will go and check their system and see if indeed you have. At least if you have forged paper, you probably will not have enough opportunity to be able to compromise their system. I hope so. Because it's human being that will impute the details of the system. I hope so. Also on the cars, actually, we're also talking about vehicle number automation, maybe the engine number or chassis number, automation of the registration, such that at the end of the day, if I'm buying a car, it will be easier for me to know if duty have been paid on those cars. So that I don't buy a car that has not paid duty. So I can easily check and be sure that I don't get myself in trouble with custom because I purchased a car that actually do not have a requisite paper. Let's move to the next one.
Also on the next news, Nigeria economy, cosmetic manufacturer decry multiple taxation border closure. Available data shows that the global cosmetic industry, driven by innovative products, is one of the fastest growing with a steady compound annual growth rate of 4.5 between 2013 and 2018. The sector CAGR, which is expected to increase by 0.7% in the period of 2019 and 2025, provides the opportunity for Nigeria cosmetic industry with an annual market value of 500 billion naira. According to the immediate past chairman of the Toiletries and Cosmetic Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, Mr. Umon, the huge potential of the subsector of Nigeria is, however, threatened by the number of challenges. Some of the challenges he identified include multiple taxes, restrictive local standards, forest prohibition on raw materials, imports, and government's global listing policy. We strongly suggest that the federal government should limit foreign products in the shop to about 20%, and locally manufactured products should be 80%.
I agree with him, but if you also look at Nigerian government, we complain about this importation on one hand, but we also enjoy the benefit of the duty on the other hand. Do you understand? We complain about the importation on one hand, but the benefit of the duty we are not ready to let go. So as long as we're not ready to let go the benefit of the duty, we can likewise forgo the challenge. Sorry, we can likewise live with the challenge that we face with the importation of those items into Nigeria. But basically, multiplication is something I will agree with, because in Nigeria you see you are paying taxes on all fronts. And you know, sometimes what's interesting about some of the issue of taxes is that they ask you for tax payment. They're not even interested if you're profitable or not profitable. They're just interested. It was so bad. When FRS is trying to make money and they just pick up your account and go and check all the money that came into the account, and they just say you have to pay tax on it. You understand? So even when the money are not yours, maybe for project and the like, I was with someone and was saying he got taxed for billions because he's into investment. He gets money from people to invest, and they're asking him. Of course, he was able to resolve with them, but I'm basically saying that taxes is a major challenge. Of course, I also realize that in Nigeria, many people don't want to pay taxes, which is why next year, if government is able to implement this idea next year, maybe that will make government also to at least don't stress businesses too much again, because they will get money from a lot of other businesses that are not in the tax net, by saying that every individual must have a TIN number. Either you're a business or individual, you have a TIN number. As a matter of fact, they say you might not have access to your account.
Commodity in the next 2 years. The minister stated this on Thursday in Kura, Kano State during an assessment tour of the impact of border drill on the entire rice production value chain. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, led stakeholders and a team of journalists on inspection of cluster of cottage rice mill in Kura. The team also visited 4 integrated rice mills in the state, which were Al Hamsad Rice, Kura Brother Rice Mill, Tiamin Rice Limited, Umza International Farms. The way and manner we are going on the production of rice in the next 2 years, we will start exporting rice out of the country.
Not a bad news for me. I think it's a good one. Rice is a major item of import into Africa. Under the AFCFTA, we can benefit a lot from this. So it's good the government is thinking about this. But I'm asking the question, when the border open, how do we still prevent rice from coming in so that the people that have invested heavily in production of rice does not begin to close down those factories? Those are the questions I think the government needs to answer. I believe the government must have assured these people of protection of their factory, of their industry, of the sector, that made them to invest heavily in the sector. But I think it's a good one, creating jobs and helping us to become a net exporter of rice. We have everything it takes, just like any other product in Nigeria that we have potential to export, but we're not exporting. We have everything it takes. So I'm fully in support, and I come completely in agreement with the government that we indeed, as a nation, can become a net exporter of rice. Reason being that we can take advantage of the AFCFTA, and a huge number, I'm trying to even see if I can get that data right away, a huge number of items being imported into Africa under AFCFTA, a huge amount from there, rice happen to be part of it. And indeed, I am of the opinion that if indeed we prepare adequately and plan towards AFCFTA, we can fully and completely take advantage of what we can gain under rice. So I'm trying to check now, what is the value of rice import under the AFCFTA? Rice is $4.7 billion 2 years ago. Africa import rice $4.7 billion. Only rice. That is huge for one single product, one single commodity, showing us how much of that we are importing into Nigeria. That is a lot. And by the way, there's so many other products that fall into this category, and that's why it's good you always look out every week for our market, the AFCFTA Market Intelligence, in which we discuss different products that can be imported into Africa. And this week, I think we are discussing, is it coconut oil? Okay. Let's move on to the next news, please.
Yes, we have importation killing SMEs. That's from Naya mentioned. The federal government has declared the rate at which metal products are imported into the country, saying it is killing small and medium-scale enterprises which locally produce those products in the country. According to this day, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Mwazu, had disclosed at a workshop on stimulation and promotion of activities of SMEs in the metal sectors in Jos, that the influx of foreign products has been a clog in the wheel of SMEs operation, calling for an outright ban. What it means, he explained that the ban of the foreign products is long overdue, despite the fact that the locally made metal products are available. Their imported counterparts still find their way into the local market. This, he said, is killing the SMEs in the country. He said that the quantity of metal products made in Nigeria cannot meet the demand in the country, while stressing that the demand for imported products are high because they are cheaper than locally produced ones. While the ban matters, the minister said that this habit needs to be curbed as it is negatively affecting the sector. According to him, SMEs were closing down and jobs were being taken away as the business could not keep up with low sales. He said, we import all kinds of metal products, even the ones produced within the country. This is because the quality of products made in Nigeria cannot be compared with those imported.
So now, I love this concern question. What are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? What effort is being made for us to be, number one, produce locally, number two, restrict the import of those items? What are we doing about it? So we just complain, oh, we can do it. That's why I love CBN. Emefiele will just go and use his power to stop what he feels he can produce. Only that he has done more in the agri sector because of, the fact that he's creating more jobs, So what the minister is saying is correct, it's true, but what is he doing about it? The minister has what it takes to be able to write the Ministry of Finance and tell them, look, restrict the import of this product, increase the duty on this one, increase the duty, find a way to reduce the import of this product by increasing the duty and discouraging the item from being imported. These are the things I believe the government can do. But we're not doing much in that area. So I think it's something we really need to do something about because, if we want to really create jobs, then we must reduce importation. So if we have a lot of metals in the country, minerals in the country that we can use to produce those products, and we actually produce some of the products actually, only that sometimes some people are used to foreign for different reasons. It's government policy that will discourage people from importing those items. So the minister should not just speak. Speaking is good, but I realize that talk is very cheap.
Should put action into it.
Action is more important. And they have what it takes to do it. They are not in government, so they should do it. Alright, let's go to trade programs.
Other trade program in January, they have the export business.
Okay, so no program in December again, right?
No program.
Okay. We're getting closer to Christmas.
We have two streams. We have the weekend and we have the weekday. The weekend will come up on the 18th and 25th of January 2020. And the weekday also will come up on the 21st and 22nd of January 2020. And some of the benefits you derive from attending this training is that you'll be given a free export license. Then you have an opportunity to join the AFED program. AFED is the Africa Development Initiative. That's an initiative from 3T Impex in partnership with our partner in the UK. Then we also have access to a guarantee for your exports. Then you also have the opportunity to be mentored throughout the process of your exportation. Then we also have access to our free advisory services and a free book on export. And some of the features also, you also be shown how you can access the European and Asian market. You also be shown how you can take full advantage of AGUA. Then products which are exportable out of Nigeria, you're giving ideas and options on which you go about it. Then also you've shown how to price your product so that you don't overprice or underprice, and all the payment methods that are involved in the export business.
How much is it?
The training fee is 78,500.
Okay.
And if you want to be part of this program, just call the number scrolling
on the screen right now. We have another one. We call it from export novice to export legend. From export novice to export legend. Now, this is a program that is supposed to be 12 years. So it's designed for 12 years. Sorry, 12 years.
6 months.
No, 12 months.
12 months. Yeah.
It's a 12-month program. Now, what is this program about? This program literally takes you from a novice in export to become a legend in export. In the sense that even we're dealing with people who don't know anything about export and does not have a product in export, but at the end of this program, they will have their own product ready for export. This program will last for 12 months. Within this program is embedded the diploma program. So you do training and exam. We realize that when people attend 2-day training sometimes, because they are not writing exams, sometimes they are not really serious. They're not, sometimes especially when they send them for the training. So this one you write the exam, so you are forced to read to be able to understand what you're learning. You're going to learn a lot about export market entry strategy, and you have a guaranteed source of market in the US. Guaranteed source of market in the US. You have access to a lot of materials, as many materials as you want. But what we can assure you is that at the end of this program, you will have a product and you will be ready to export. If you have not even started doing some export at the end of the program. So it's very important you consider joining this program from export novice to export legend. So the 2-day program is good. It helps to have rudiment of export, understanding how export works. But if you want to now own a product, let me tell you some of the features. You are able to develop a product and brand without a factory. You have access to manufacturers for your manufacturers. You have access to contract manufacturers for your product. Guaranteed buying leads rather from buyers abroad, particularly US and UK. Complete a diploma in export business management. Access to companies abroad for development of your packaging and free advice services, free subscription to AFED. Business is positioned to take advantage of the AFCFTA, and of course you get license from NEPC. I will give you books, and both on export business made easy and export trade finance. We'll be moving on to the last segment of the show now. This program has three segments. Remember, the first segment is on trade news, the second segment is on trade program, and the third segment is on trade education. Trade education for the last, I think, 2 months or 3 months, we'll be talking about the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And we have moved from one product to another product to another product to another product to another product. And today we have a product we'll be looking at. And that product is coconut oil. Coconut oil. It's interesting that Nigeria produces coconut oil, but we're not a major exporter. Nigeria have coconut, proudly produce some coconut oil, but we're not a major exporter of coconut oil. And that's the concern. But the beauty is that $183 million worth of product is imported under AFCFTA. That's over 60 billion naira. Over 60 billion naira worth of coconut oil is imported. Who are those importing it? So if you are into coconut production, the reason for this program is to let you know who are your market. South Africa, importing 29% of coconut oil import into Africa. Egypt, 23% of coconut oil import into Africa. Sudan, 14% of coconut oil into Africa. Kenya, 7.2% of coconut oil import into Africa. And Algeria, 6.5% of coconut oil into Africa. So you see all these countries with different amount of volume of import of coconut oil into Africa. And that's interesting for me, that we have what it takes to produce. I'm not sure we are taking advantage of that market. Now, the beauty for me also is that we are already exporting actually, but we're not taking full advantage of the market. Now, there are people also who currently export coconut oil in Africa. Cote d'Ivoire is the largest exporter, doing 54% of coconut oil export. The good news for me is that Nigeria is already exporting, doing 22% of total coconut oil export out of Africa. Ghana, 4.5% of total coconut oil export out of Africa. Mozambique, 1.85%, and South Africa, 1.9%. What is all this telling you? All this is telling you that, look, there is a huge potential that you can take advantage of in the trade of coconut. There is a huge potential that you can take advantage of in the trade of coconut. And coconut happens to be among products that I consider critical success factor for any country that wants to take advantage of AFCFTA. And I'll tell you why. My research, if you follow me on Facebook, I'm always on Facebook discussing AFCFTA, and And I've talked about different countries from Algeria to Angola to Benin to Burkina Faso. I've talking about also Cameroon. I've talked about Comoros. And I've spoken about, I think I've spoken about even Democratic Republic of Congo this evening. You know what I found out? I found out that these countries, two things characterize them. Number one, a huge population of this country are young. And that's a good news for Africa. Huge, young population. Huge good news for Africa. That means any product you want to sell must be something that young people will be willing to buy. Number two, a huge amount, sometimes 90%, 80%, 70%, 60%, a huge amount of the end use of the production or import or export or production or import in the economy is on household consumption. That means if I want to take advantage of AFCFTA, anything you want to sell should have in mind people below 25 years and below. 25 years and below. Very important. For most African countries, that constitutes 60% of the population. So, for example, I realized that even it's like we are just giving back in Africa. You know, when I look at it, between age 15 and below, in most countries I've looked at so far in Africa, they are typically between 30 and 40%, sometimes 50%. Age 15 and below. So we are having to give back to a lot of children. But what is interesting, so anybody that wants to sell, look for what you can sell to children. All the people selling all these products, there's a product in Nigeria, I don't want to advise anybody on this platform because it's not paid for it. But you know some products that children love. Those are the things you want to sell in Africa. Then household consumption, and coconut oil happens to be one of the household consumption you can consider on in Africa. I'm basically saying that look, if you're going to take advantage of the AFCFTA, you need to be strategic. You can't just sell any product. You need to sell a product that you are sure many people will buy. Why? Because mass market. And you should also realize that in Africa, and in Nigeria for example, and I think in a number of African countries, more than 70-80% of the income of many homes are spent on food. The implication of that is anything Nigeria is looking at as a strategic objective or plan in other AFCFTA, we must not joke with agricultural products, especially as it relates with food. Thank you very much for listening again to us today. My name is Diploma by this Import Export platform, Facebook Academy. Your name is?
Okay.
See you next week and bye for now.